So with the 5th anniversary coming soon on the CN side, somewhere around July 22nd I believe, I'm gonna try my best to avoid any spoilers since I am slowly trying to catch my way up on some of the few updates that CN already had. In late September though, us global players will be getting Tourmilk, which is a very weird name. Most likely it will be different in global, but I can see 2 reasons why. And 2, we got a new mommy in town, ladies and gentlemen, and oh boy. And the other character alongside her is Elise, which is a much nicer name, a more normal one. Another centaur, so let's hope that she isn't another abomination like Amadeus. Like, I don't know what they were on when they decided to make that character. Anyways though, let's go ahead and take a look at what Tourmilk can do. Actually, what's her official name? I feel like saying Tourmilk just ain't cutting it. Tomirk. Alright, let's go with that. Tomirk is a part of Origin, Elise, and Mythical faction. Her talent increases her int and gets 2 stacks of sensibility and rational at the start of battle. When she has more stacks of sensibility than rational or equal, her range increases by 1, and after she attacks, she heals her allies within 3 blocks of her, but if she has more stacks of rational than sensibility or equal, her range increases. Wouldn't make any sense if it only affected her soldiers. After actively attacking, after battle, she deals fixed damage. When her teammates end their turn and/or actively attacking, it converts 1 stack of rational into sensibility. Same thing can be said the other way around, and is only stackable up to 4 times. So I'm guessing whenever her allies end their turn, she converts 1 stack of rational into sensibility. Then if they are actively attacking, it would be the other way around. Her talent isn't anything too crazy. It looks alright for the most part, like there isn't really anything unique about it except for her talent stacking. That healing would be pretty nice to have on the side, but the way how she's gonna be stacking looks really annoying. I feel like depending on where she is, she's gonna be stacking one thing over the other. Her 1C is an active skill that converts one of her talent stacks, whichever is the largest to the other, to get 20% damage increase and takes 30% less reflect damage for 2 turns. After using the skill, she can move 2 blocks to attack, and buffs on her do not lose their turn duration. What I really like about this skill is that, like I said before, one problem that I already see with this character is that depending where she is, she's going to be stacking one of her talent effects more than the other. So this allows her to be able to kinda control what she gets more. But at the same time, it's not really helping a lot because it does have a pretty long cooldown. Her 2C is a single target that does some effects, whichever talent stacks is the highest. If she has more sensibility stacks or equal, she dispels some debuff for her allies near her, but if she has more rational stacks or equal, this skill ignores 20% of the enemy's magic defense. Alright, so what does it mean when it says equal? Does that mean if she has an equal number of her talent stacks, then she gets both of the effect? I hope she does because I feel like she isn't doing anything too crazy. Nothing you see here is unique or make her incredibly good. I feel like at this point she's looking more like a generic mage with a annoying gimmick. That's the vibe I'm really getting about this character. Then her 3C. The passive reduces the skill cooldown by 1 turn when she has an equal number of both of her talent stacks. Alright, could be better. Could be a lot better actually. It's a single target skill that also does its own effect depending which stacks are the largest. If she has more stacks of sensibility or equal, she dispels 3 buffs from the enemy before battle. But with rational, the enemy gets 3 debuffs before battle. Also, if this attack is used when the enemy isn't being guarded, it makes them teleport somewhere within 3 blocks of her. Then afterwards, whatever's talent stacks is the largest, it converts all of it to the other. Alright, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. This character honestly feels really underwhelming. You gotta keep an eye on her talent stacks to make sure that you see what you want her to be doing. The only big thing that I'm really seeing about this character is that she's an offensive support due to her healing and dispelling debuffs from her teammates. But I feel like that really isn't much. Like, it's a nice thing to have on the side. She really isn't offering a lot. And let's talk about her main gimmick, her talent stacks. I feel like it's a real big issue that really hurts her. It's annoying for the most part because you gotta take a mental note before you decide anything if you want to make use of whatever it is you want her to be doing. And her having her teammates around will make this pretty hard for her. Like, her 1C can help with that issue, but not too much since the cooldown is very long. But the real positive is that it gives her more damage dealt and lets her act again, which is really good. Like, if the cooldown was like 2 turns or something, then that would make things a little bit better. And I really don't like how her 2C and her 3C really depends on whatever talent stacks that she has the most. Like if she has an equal amount, I'm pretty sure it like does both of the effect, but I feel like having an equal number of those is gonna be tough since you have your teammates running around converting her stacks. And let's talk about her 3C. It is so punishing. Like its overall effect could be a bit more crazy. It's a 3C skill, so why not add some more flair to it? It's a 3C. It's supposed to be strong. But what I'm mainly talking about that punishes her way too much is the conversion. That's just not okay. Cause I can see this slowing her down. So pretty much on the next turn, you're gonna have to play around with your other characters if you want her to get back her other stacks. If you're looking for a specific benefit, they have to be doing certain things to get whichever one that she wants the most. Like she's definitely usable, don't get me wrong, but I think the main issue with her is just maintaining her talent stacks. Like at the start of the battle, it's fine, but as the battle drags on, it's gonna be a lot more difficult. This character is such a mental toll. Like you're not gonna be maintaining her talent stacks all the time. Plus she isn't really doing anything crazy at all. Like this character hardly even feels unique. And she relies on that too. I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot more study about her whenever she comes closer to global for you guys. But so far looking at her playstyle is very annoying to deal with. Alright, I'm gonna pause here. As I'm editing this, I did take a little bit more look about her because even with me saying all of that, I just had to find out what she truly does. So we can confirm that she does get both of the effect when she has an equal amount of her talent stacks, which is really nice. She can even go up to 4 range. That is really good. And as her allies are fulfilling the conditions to change her conversion, she does end up stacking one thing over the other, meaning that she's really only getting one of the benefits, and sadly reaching 3 blocks to attack. Another main thing that I do want to point out is that even on the next turn and going forward after that, she does not get any more of her talent stacks. It's only at the start of the battle, so that makes it very hard to maintain it. So that's what her 1C is there for. But even with that helping her, she's still going to be really relying on her teammates to help convert her talent. So knowing all of that, it's still a very annoying gimmick that she relies on that also hurts her. She still looks like a really good attacker, but her talent really holds back her potential, which is very sad to see. Oh yeah, and also if you guys are wondering about the bonds, she does need Jessica and Elise. And speaking of Elise, and I'm hoping they didn't do her dirty, like with the other horse character. I'm hoping that she's at least good. Like doesn't matter where, as long as she's pretty decent, like not terrible at all. She is part of the Meteor, Ulysses, and Mythical faction. Oh yeah, and also if you guys are wondering about bonds, she does need Adon Kelmo and the other character, Tomirk. For her talent, she has the Terrain Master ability, which is very nice. Her defense increases and her attack increases for every block that she moves. At the start of battle, she gets 2 stack of Guardian Key, so at the end of her turn, she can choose to use it to apply Guardian Key tile. What this does is that, at the end of Elise's turn, if an ally is on the Guardian Key tile, it gets removed, and that ally gets to move 4 blocks to attack. It can only trigger once per turn, and buffs do not lose their turn duration. The tile only lasts for 1 turn though, unfortunately, and can be applied only when it is removed. There can only be a max of 2 Guardian Key within 3 blocks, but on the official translation, it says only 1 Guardian Key at a time. And also this tile has a high terrain priority. That Terrain Master is really good. Like one of the best things that any character can have. This Guardian Key thing looks really amazing, but it is way too strict. In PvE, it looks like it will be really useful, but I'm not sure about PvP since there's a lot more careful decision making. And it doesn't seem like that she can act again with it. Like if she had that, it would make her a lot more better, but who knows. But let's take a look at her other skills before I give the rest of my first thoughts on her. Her 1C is an active skill that is used to steal a random buff from the enemy within 1 ring. And if her Guardian Key is within range, that terrain is removed and the talent action effect is triggered. I'm not too sure what that means, but if we take a look at her talent, the last description says that her Guardian Key lasts for 1 turn and can only be applied after it is removed. And there can only be a max of 1 Guardian Key within 3 blocks. So I'm guessing this just allows her to recast it again, which I'm not sure if that's also true. So yeah, I'm not really sure on this one. Her 2C is an AoE that should deal a little bit more damage within 2 blocks. Not that many. It reduces the enemy's defense and magic defense for 2 turns, and if the enemy is on the Guardian Key tile, damage to them is increased. The debuffs are not bad, it's pretty massive, but the range is terrible. It's only 2 blocks, that's not a lot. Her 3C has a passive where, if triggering act again, it restores health and damage increases for 1 turn. This is a single target that reaches 2 blocks in a straight line that ignores 30% of the enemy's defense, and soldiers will also attack with her. It pushes the enemy back 2 blocks, that reduces the mobility by 2 for 1 turn, that cannot be dispelled. But if the enemy gets pushed into another unit or to a unmovable terrain, they get stunned that cannot be dispelled. Then afterwards, she can move 2 blocks but only in a straight line, and gets a buff to lower her damage taken for 1 turn. Alright, so yeah, looks like she might not be too optimal for PvP. Her talent is the only purpose of being useful, and there's a lot of thinking when it comes to using it. She doesn't benefit from the act again, it looks like, only for her teammates, which is pretty dumb. Like, I wish that it could affect her as well. Like, if she benefited from that, she can really make more use of her AoE. So yeah, she might be a little bit tricky to use, but overall, she isn't really going to be doing anything too crazy. Like, she isn't really changing anything or anything like that. Like, she's just there. But in PvE, she's definitely more usable over there, since she is a really strong single target attacker. One of the 2 exclusive that came out is a helmet for Rozencial. Oh boy, she's already an insane healer, man. So let's see how insane this is. It gives her more HP. For every stack of her crystal barrier, the healing effect is increased by 3. And if you guys don't know, Rozencial can stack up to 5 times with this crystal barrier, which does come from her talent. So that is a 15% in total. The next thing that it says should be when she dies. So yeah, when she dies, she heals her teammate within 2 blocks. Of course it's gonna be good. One of the most cracked healers in the game. But I don't think it's anything to get worked up on. The death heal is really amazing. To add even more on top of that, it applies more of her crystal barrier. And the extra healing effect is really great, since Rozencial usually doesn't have a ton of heal multiplier compared to other healers. She's already doing a lot for her teammates, and she is still very capable of healing a lot. So yeah, overall it's great, and luckily it doesn't make her even more broken unless she comes out with a ridiculous casting skill. The other one is for McClaine, which I think looks like a helmet. It gives more HP and defense, and when passing through his Tal effect, the movement is treated as water, and when killing the enemy, he heals 20% of his HP. I feel like this one is pretty alright. Sometimes aquatic units have a hard time moving through weird terrains, and I think it's the same case with Rozalia's exclusive, where as long as they're within range of their respective Tal, they can easily move around. For the casting skill, we got one for Listell. It should increase her magic defense. It wouldn't make sense if it's defense, since she does scale off her magic defense to her int. Damage to enemy is increased if they have wound curse or heal reversal. Second is Florentia. Int increases. I'm pretty confident that it's when she has a faction buff effect, and when she uses her 3C, the cooldown is reduced, which is really nice. I wish she had this a lot more sooner though, when she was a lot more relevant, but in regular content, it'll be really nice. Third is Gizarof, and that looks like it increases all of his stats. Wow, that's the first that we've seen that. He can summon his ultimate construct when his summon effect from his talent triggers. So yeah, that was surprising. More stats on Gizarof means that his construct becomes stronger. Of course, Gizarof isn't a lot more common these days, but I'm really surprised that he just simply gets all of his stats increased. Like, that's something that's really rare to see. So yeah, that'll be really good for him. Then the last one is Feraquea. More attack, and whenever she uses her 3C, she gets a buff where she does more damage against enemies she doesn't have a class advantage of. Or it might be when she does have the advantage, which is alright. Like, if it was more damage dealt, that would be even better. No new banners, but for the content, the Tower Defense game mode, and a new type of Time Rift. It's not called Time Rift, I'm pretty sure it's called Interstellar. It's a new type of side story with the 2 new characters that came out with this update. I don't really know what's going on in it, since I don't understand the language, but from what I've seen, it does have a self-insert, meaning that the commander, yes, that's us, the player, are actually part of this. And I think it takes place in a whole nother world. It's a new type of PvE content if you guys haven't figured that out. It's a really interesting take, which isn't really a bad thing. It's a really whole new approach, since there are actually dialogues from other characters that actually talks to you and calls you commander. Like, for example, Werner. A lot of other gacha games has the same method, and it's pretty interesting since it makes the player feel a lot more connected. So yeah, being a commander in Langrisser actually has a lot more meaning to it now. I really like it, and I feel like a lot of other people will like it as well. As for the new skins, the Echo of Light for the 2 new characters. Elise looks really amazing, but Tomirk though, I kind of don't like the side look. Also, who is that? You know who that reminds me of? It reminds me of Anya from Spy Family. I don't actually watch the show, but I've seen memes to know about it. But her sprite work looks really good. And there's another skin that all servers should have gotten, a Leobeck skin. CN got the skin in this update, and I believe us global players, I'm not sure when was it, but I think it was around the Awakener update, or it could be the Kurino Kaseki update. I don't remember, so I could be wrong. Then there's a Machalotto skin for Julian, which looks very cool. Also, can we get like a ninja skin for this guy? That's actually something I want to see, like an assassin character with a ninja outfit. I know there are some characters who are actually ninjas, like Tsubame, but I actually want to see like a whole nother skin. But yeah, there you guys have it. That should be about everything that CN got in this update. Elise is a pretty interesting character, but her strong suit is definitely in PvE. I don't think her gimmick is well adaptable in PvP, and it's the only thing that makes her good, but it's not enough. Tomirk, she's just an underwhelming character. She's just really hard to maintain, and that's really the main problem about her. Like, I'm probably talking nonsense about her, but anyways though, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support that you guys have been showing. Every single day and every time I upload, I'm always really impressed with the crazy amount of support that you guys show. And I'm just so grateful to have you guys on the channel. I really appreciate it. And I'll always say that no matter what. Because having a community like you guys are what really keeps me going making videos. Thank you guys once again. Truly appreciate all the support. But feel free to let me know what you guys are excited for in this update. It should be coming in 2 months in late September. There's not really a lot that I'm particularly interested in. The new PvE thing got me pretty curious, so I'm looking forward to that. And there's also more stuff in the future that's keeping me hype. But yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.